You're watching Parliament News with me, Munmin Bhattacharya. Let's begin with proceedings of the Lok Sabha, the Competition Amendment Bill, which seeks structural changes in the governing structure of the Competition Commission of India, was introduced in Lok Sabha on Friday. Minister of State for Corporate Affairs, Ravinderjeet Singh, introduced the bill seeking substantive provisions to allow the CCI to address the needs of new age markets. The CCI has in recent times ordered probes as well as passed various orders with respect to alleged unfair business practices in the growing digital market. The New Delhi International Arbitration Centre Amendment Bill was also introduced in lower house of Parliament. Law Minister Kiren Rijiju tabled the bill, which seeks to establish an autonomous and independent institution for better management of arbitration in India. The bill seeks to provide for the establishment of the New Delhi International Arbitration Centre, or NDIAC, to conduct arbitration, mediation and conciliation proceedings. The bill declares the NDIAC as an institution of national importance. International Centre for Alternative Dispute Resolution, or the ICADR, is a registered society to promote the resolution of disputes through alternative dispute resolution methods such as arbitration and mediation. The bill seeks to transfer the existing ICADR to the central government. Upon notification by the central government, all the rights, title and interest in the ICADR will be transferred to NDIAC. With farmers in Bihar hit by a massive deficit in monsoon rains, a BJP MP in Lok Sabha on Friday asked the centre to take quick measures to declare the state drought hit. Raising the issue during 0 hour, Patliputra MP Ram Kripal Yadav said that the situation in the state was frighteningly bad and the centre needed to take immediate steps to provide relief to farmers. He urged the central government to send a high-level team to review the situation in the state. Quoting recent data, he said the state had received 41% less than normal rains till the 31st of July, following which more than 90% of farmers are suffering from drought-like conditions. As a largely rural and economically impoverished state depends mostly on rains to sustain agriculture, the sowing of paddy has taken place in less than half of the targeted 35 lakh hectares of land, Yadav said. The lack of rain has also resulted in a fall of water table, making it difficult to pump water into the fields. Members of the DMK on Friday walked out of the proceedings of Lok Sabha in protest, claiming that they wanted to raise an issue in the House, but they were not being allowed. Soon after the House assembled at 12 noon and some papers and reports were laid on the table, the DMK members rose from their seats and began seeking attention of the chair, Kirit Premji Bhai Solanki. The DMK members were heard saying that they have been wanting to raise an issue but not being allowed. The chair, however, asked Union Minister Kiren Rijiju to introduce a bill in the House, urging the DMK members to take their seats. As the DMK members refused to relent and continued seeking his attention, the chair asked the law minister to go ahead with the introduction of the bill, saying only that will go on record what the Minister Rijiju is saying. With this, the DMK members walked out of the House in protest. Rijiju introduced a bill to amend the New Delhi Arbitration Centre Act 2019. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey raised in Lok Sabha on Friday the very serious issue of some Urdu medium schools in Jharkhand observing weekly holiday on Fridays instead of Sundays and demanded a probe into it by the National Investigation Agency. Raising the issue during 0 hour, the BJP MP from Jharkhand's Goda Lok Sabha constituency termed the change in weekly holiday a move towards Islamization and demanded that the union government withhold funds released to these schools under the centre's Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. Calling it a very serious matter, the Dubey alleged that the country is moving towards Islamization and Jharkhand has shown the way. He said a message should be sent out that this country runs under one law and that such things will not be tolerated at any cost. The Jharkhand government, replying to a question in the State Legislative Assembly earlier this week, stated that a total of 407 schools had been declared as Urdu schools at the local level, while the weekly holiday had been changed illegally from Sundays to Fridays in 509 schools. According to the report received from the districts, the state of the matter is that 407 schools in the state had been declared as Urdu schools at the local level. Corrections have been made by removing the word Urdu from 350 of these schools. State Parliamentary Affairs Minister Alamgir Alam said, while replying to the question of BJP MLA Anand Kumar Ojha, he said that the old system of weekly holiday on Sundays has been restored in 459 schools out of 509 schools where it had illegally been changed to Fridays. Direction has been issued to remove the words Urdu school from the name of the general school. Directions have been issued to take action against the erring officials, the State Minister added in his reply. The issue triggered a political controversy in the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha governed state after a section of the local media reported the matter. Fridays are considered auspicious by Muslims who hold Jummeh ki namaz with great fervour. The Lok Sabha on Friday discussed a bill moved by BJP member Janardhan Singh Sigriwal on compulsory voting. Union Minister of State for Law SP Singh Baghel highlighted a few points on why such a move is non-feasible, and that include imposition of fines for abstaining from voting. He reminded the House that voters such as Manrega workers who may not be able to cast a vote cannot be fined. Baghel said certain countries around the world have tried to implement this system of compulsory voting, but these countries quickly realized that it is not in favor of people and rolled back the system. He said the extreme weather conditions across the country that voters may have to face while going to cast their ballot is one of the reasons many people are not exercising their franchise. Baghel said India cannot simply emulate what other countries are doing and must take care of the intricacies of the country. Minister of Power and New and Renewable Energy R.K. Singh said in Lok Sabha on Friday that developed countries are no match to India in the speed at achieving their pledges for clean energy. Singh said that India has concern for the environment and is working towards becoming self-reliant in the energy sector. He made the remarks after moving the Energy Conservation Amendment Bill in the House for consideration. The bill seeks to make it mandatory for buildings with a minimum connected load of 100 kilowatt to meet their energy requirements from renewable sources. Singh said every country wants to reduce emissions of greenhouse gases to deal with climate change and global warming, which has led to a campaign towards adopting renewable or clean energy. At the 2015 United Nations Climate Change Conference COP21, India had pledged that by 2030, 40% of its energy generation capacity would be met from non-fossil fuel sources such as renewable energy, the minister said, adding that this was achieved in November 2021 itself. Large economies and developed countries are no match to India in the speed at achieving pledges for clean energy. There are two reasons for it. One is our concern for the environment, and the second reason is that we want to make our country self-reliant, he said. He said today the country is in a strong position in terms of power generation and connectivity, and power cuts are reported not due to non-availability but because of local reasons. The bill seeks to mandate the use of non-fossil sources including green hydrogen and green ammonia, the minister said. Initiating the discussion on the bill, BJP MP Jagdambika Pal said it has been brought due to the increasing carbon emissions in the world and the concern over climate change. He said the United States, the European countries and China contribute more in terms of carbon emissions, but despite this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has shown great commitment to combat climate change. Pal said the bill is being amended so that the means of transport run on clean energy and green infrastructure is created. He said the State Energy Conservation Fund would also be created with this bill. Participating in the debate, Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Motra said that the bill is a step in the right direction, but added that this government has an uncanny knack of ignoring what is important and concentrating on headlines. Currently, 95% of the hydrogen produced is grey hydrogen, which is from natural gas. So there are technological challenges for transformation and usage. A major research and development effort is required in the green hydrogen space. It will not be easy to shift from 95% grey hydrogen to green hydrogen, Moitra said. The debate remained inconclusive and would be taken up later. Singh had introduced the Energy Conservation Amendment Bill in the Lok Sabha earlier this week. The bill seeks to mandate the use of non-fossil sources including green hydrogen, green ammonia, biomass and ethanol for energy and feedstock. Now news from the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu on Friday said members of Parliament do not enjoy any immunity from being arrested in a criminal case during the session or otherwise. Giving this clarification during 0 hour, the chairman said there is a wrong notion among the members that they have a privilege from action by agencies while the session is on. One of the privileges, the chairman said, is that a member of Parliament cannot be arrested in a civil case 40 days before the commencement of the session or committee meeting and 40 days thereafter. This privilege is already incorporated under Section 135A of the Civil Procedure Code 1908. The chairman observed, however, in criminal matters, members of Parliament are not on a different footing than a common citizen. It means that a member of Parliament does not enjoy any immunity from being arrested in a criminal case during the session or otherwise, he said. Noting that there have been a number of rulings by presiding officers, Naidu also drew the attention of the House to one ruling given in 1966 by Zakir Hussain, who said members of Parliament do enjoy certain privileges. One such privilege is freedom from arrest when the Parliament is in session. This privilege of freedom from arrest is limited only to civil cases and has not been allowed to interfere in the administration of criminal proceedings, the chairman said, quoting Hussain's ruling. He also recalled his own ruling that no member should avoid appearing before any investigating agency when she or he is called upon to do so by citing reason of house duty. As lawmakers, it is our bounden duty to respect the law and legal procedures. He said it applies to all in all cases because you can only inform them that the House is in session, seeking further date, but you cannot avoid the enforcement agencies or the law enforcing agencies' summons or notices. He also cited a Supreme Court ruling in this regard. The clarification came after Congress members, in fact, raised objections over summons issued to Leader of Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge by the Enforcement Directorate in a money laundering case when the session was functioning, alleging that this was an insult to legislature. Earlier, Rajya Sabha proceedings were adjourned for almost half an hour till 11:30 a.m. as Congress members created an uproar alleging misuse of probe agencies by the government. When the upper house assembled for the morning session, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu proceeded with the scheduled business of laying off the listed papers on the table, but had to adjourn the House within a few minutes. More than 10 Congress members trooped into the well of the House protesting against the alleged misuse of central probe agencies. The Congress members said that Leader of Opposition in Rajya Sabha Mallikarjun Kharge has been insulted as he was summoned by the ED on Thursday during working hours of Parliament. Responding to a separate query on why priority is not being provided to the freight corridor, Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said prior to 2014 there was 0 kilometre commission in the freight corridor, while now 1300 kilometres have been commissioned. Some people believe in only talking, while some believe only in doing work, be it bullet train or freight corridor. All works are being commissioned at a fast pace. Vaishnav said he cited the example of Kolkata Metro on what the commitment made and how much work was done. Vaishnav also said that the Indian Railways has provided employment to over 3.5 lakh people so far between 2014 and 2022, and the process of recruiting 1.4 lakh more people is currently underway. The Rajya Sabha saw the completion of the debate on a private member's bill, a Right to Health Bill 2021, with Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia saying that the government has already set up 1.22 lakh Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centres, and by the end of this year it would reach its target of having 1.5 lakh such centres across the country. He said these Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centres are working on a holistic approach and have facilities such as the eSanjeevani platform offering online OPD consultation service through telemedicine and teleconsultation. By the end of December, 1.5 lakh Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centres would be available to serve the country, the Health Minister said while replying to the discussion on the bill. The bill was earlier introduced by RJD MP Manoj Jha last month, seeking free health care for all. Mandavia said the government is converting all primary health centres to Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centres, and the centre is assisting the state governments in this project. These centres would also conduct yoga classes for wellness twice in a week, he said, adding that children would be vaccinated and pregnant women's health conditions would be monitored. There would be testing facilities for non-communicable diseases at such centres, he said, adding that there would also be facilities for screening of oral cancer, cervical cancer and breast cancer. The minister assured that the government is working to make healthcare accessible and affordable for the common people. The Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, with an outlay of 64,000 crore rupees over the next 5 years, will take India's public health facilities and infrastructure to new heights, the minister asserted. He also said that India crossed the 200 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses mark within 18 months of beginning the drive, which underlined the strength of the nation and its strong vaccine research and management capabilities. The minister said that the government is aware that more needs to be done and the gaps will be addressed through Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. The mission, where proposed average spends are pegged at 100 crore rupees per district, will look to bolster facilities at all levels through critical care units, testing labs and strong surveillance system units. He also said that the government is addressing the issue of the lack of medical professionals, and now the total number of medical colleges in the country has gone up to 622. The number of seats in MBBS has doubled now to 1 lakh from 55,000 in the last 7 years. He added, noting that the WHO suggests having a doctor for every 1,000 population, and we have 13 lakh MBBS doctors and 5.5 lakh Ayush doctors. He said now we have a doctor available in every 800 people. In 2017, the government declared a national health policy on concerns of members over India's low GDP to health ratio. Mandavia said, we have decided to take it to 2.5% in the coming years. While participating in the debate, Radha Mohan Das Agarwal of the BJP said that in order to provide better health facilities to the citizen, the right to health is not required. What needs to be ensured is that funds are not pilferage and reach the poor people. Ashok Bajpai of the BJP said that there is a lack of doctors at the health centres and the government is working to address the issue by opening new medical colleges and increasing the numbers. Achay Pratap Singh of BJP also participated in the debate. The discussion on the bill will continue. Opposition members Santosh Kumar P of CPI and Jawahar Sarkar of the Trinamool Congress called for increasing India's spending on health care as a percentage of GDP to lessen the burden of medical expenses on citizens. Sarkar supported the bill and lamented the country's low spending on health care. BJP member Anil Agrawal said importance must be given to providing adequate healthcare infrastructure first, without which the right to health would be meaningless. He listed out several steps taken by the government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to ensure affordable healthcare. Radha Mohan Das Agarwal of the BJP also asserted what the private members' bill attempts to cover has already been taken care of under the Ayushman Bharat scheme of the government. Earlier, members of various parties introduced as many as 17 private members' bills. These included the Information Technology Amendment Bill 2022 by Derek O'Brien of the TMC that seeks to protect women from online harassment and abuse, Employment Guarantee Bill 2022 by Santosh Kumar P of the CPI to ensure minimum 100 days of work to all citizens within the age of 18 to 40 years in accordance with their educational qualification or skill. Earlier in the day, during 0 hour, several members raised issues of public concern. K. Ravindra Kumar raised the issue of floods in Andhra Pradesh, where people have suffered in the Godavari region. There was loss of crop and properties were damaged in several districts, he said. Amar Patnaik demanded that there is a need for post-harvest management infrastructure, which could actually come from the Agri-Infrastructure Fund, where only an amount of 8,000 crore rupees has been spent out of an allocation of 1 lakh crore rupees in 5 years, as was announced by the Finance Minister in the last budget. He said we should augment this in order to have a cold chain infrastructure from the farm gate level to the market, and secondly, to have climate resilient agricultural infrastructure put in place to address the issue of seasonality. The Health Minister also said that the budget for health was 33,000 crore rupees in 2014 when the BJP formed its government, and then increased the budget by 58% to 52,000 crore rupees. It continued to rise, and for the year 2022-23 it is at 83,000 crore rupees, he said. And with that, we come to the close of this edition of Parliament News. Thanks for watching.